Welcome to Child Development 100 Child Growth and Development. In this video, I'm going to be welcoming you to the class and also taking you onto Canvas to show you the class content and organization and structure, how it is on Canvas and what to expect every week. And then I'll also be taking you to the syllabus and some of the course expectations as well. I am going to go ahead and share my screen with how it should look on Canvas. So when you have gotten on to Canvas and you have gotten into the Child 100 class, the first module is welcome. I'll start here. If you're watching this video, you've made it that far. In this first module, it will always stay here and it will always be available to you. It will be this welcome video right now that you are watching. It will be the syllabus for the class and also the free textbook. So this video will always be up throughout all the weeks that we will be in class together. So if you ever need to go back and fast forward to the relevant section or just watch this to remind yourself about the structure and any formatting, just know that the video will always be available to you throughout class. The syllabus that I'm going to go over in just a few minutes is also going to be available. So it will always be up and in this module as well if you wanted to ever use it to refer back to as well. And then our textbook is free here at Palomar. I have linked to the Palomar Child Development page that we have on palomar.edu. We have the Child Development online textbook. From there, you can download it to your own Google or to a PDF or to a document. I wouldn't print it if I were you, or if you were, I would contact Palomar's print services, which is Comic Copy, and see about getting a cheaper rate. Just printing it yourself at home would cost a lot of money, probably the same amount to actually buy a textbook. And we have committed to doing zero textbook for this class in order to kind of mitigate some of those costs that a lot of times students have to pay for textbooks and they can be quite expensive. So we're using a free online text. If you click this will take you to the online formats that we have available. So this page will always be there for you. The second module is just some college and class resources that I feel like you might need. I have a bunch of student support services. This is tutoring for English and for writing, because there is some writing and a research paper in this class. So there are free online Zoom appointments that you might want. If you are writing the research paper and you feel like you could use some extra support, you can just wear your sweats and do a Zoom and go over your paper. And that is really, really helpful as well. I have our Child Development Success Guide, and this is specific for the child development classes that we teach here at Palomar. We have a APA paper format as well, an example of that. So that might be helpful if you're writing the research paper. We have a lot of also like tips, tricks, hacks, and things that might be helpful for this class and for any other child development classes that you might take here at Palomar. Then I have just some information from Palomar about being an online student. So if Canvas and being online is new to you, or you're coming back to school after an absence, or if this is your first time at college, if you're ready to be an online student, is your computer ready and software for this course? Might be nice pages that you might want to click on just to make sure that you have the right components and platforms in order to take this class and any other online class. You don't have to buy anything for this class. The textbook is free, and also Palomar has free Microsoft, which includes Word and Excel for all students here at Palomar as well. The only platform that I might be using for this class so software is YouTube. That's how I record my video. Well, I record my videos and then I post them on YouTube so that we have transcripts and also so they're available to you throughout the class. That's really the only software besides Word and Canvas that I use for this class. The other three parts are some of the larger requirements that I have over the next 8 weeks. You're going to be doing 2 observations. Normally, you would go out and observe a child in person. It's still a little bit tricky. We had just Omicron just a few weeks ago. It was a pretty big variant. And it's hard to get out into the community. A lot of child development centers and elementary schools are not allowing observers. They once were. You could just make an appointment and you could go in and observe a second grade classroom or a preschool or something. Because of a lot of the requirements related to COVID, that's no longer an issue, so they're online. So I have a one observation that's due at the end of April and one that's due in mid-May. And you are going to watch a clip that I've provided for you, and then you're going to be observing what those children are doing on that online clip. So it's about a 7-minute clip, and you will be observing and writing down everything that you see, and then you will be uploading that kind of observation that you've completed up into Canvas. In this child observation page right here, there are more information and a video about specifically how to do observations, but just know these are a larger kind of requirement throughout the class. One's due at the end of April and one's due in May. If you have any questions or how to do the observation, click on this page and you will have information about what observations are, and also a video very similar to this on how to do an observation. And once again, you don't have to go anywhere. It's an at-home observation of a child from a clip that I already have of children playing. You'll just observe the children playing and then write your observation. This is to kind of mitigate your COVID risk, and also because a lot of the schools aren't open to visitors or volunteers because of COVID as well. You'll also be writing a research paper. Your research paper is on any topic that you want that's related to child development. There are more information once again in this assignment right here. I'm gonna go ahead and click on it and show it to you. So I have an instructions video and the written instructions and help with APA and help with research as well. So you've got all the information that you need. I've got written instructions, I've got a video instructions, I've got the APA if you kind of needed help with APA. That includes a template that you can download that will help you write it if you're new to writing in an APA format, and then also research support from our library as well. So that is our kind of research paper. It's going to be broken into two. One is a rough draft that's due in April as well. This is only 10 points. I encourage students to do it, even though it's only 10 points and wouldn't affect your grade that much. I encourage it because I will give you feedback. So if you were writing a research paper on, potty training and what it's like to toilet train a 2-year-old, I would give you feedback and support in making the next draft a really, really good one. So most of the students who turn in a rough draft get an A or a B on the final draft because they've gotten that kind of one-on-one feedback straight from me. So once again, I've got all of this information in the assignment. I've set you up for success with helping with APA, helping with research, helping with giving you good instructions. But the rough draft is kind of the next step towards getting a really good grade, is getting feedback directly from your professor. So it's 10 points. It's a rough draft. Many students choose not to do it, but many students who do choose to do it end up getting an A or a B because once again, they've gotten that kind of feedback and support from me. The final draft is due way down in May. And once again, you can write on any kind of topic you want, as long as it's related to child development. It could be a concept, theories, something you've observed in child development, a milestone that children go through, issues related to child development or just growing up as well. And then our last assignment is our small group project, and this is due all the way at the end of May as well. And this is just a 5-minute video that you're going to make with a group member. I'm going to split you up into groups in the second week of class. So the first week you won't have to do any work with it, but the second week I will automatically sort you into groups of 2 to 3 people, and you will make a short video about a topic relating to child development once again. So it's going to be short, it's really small, it's not a lot of recording or research. You're just gonna make a how-to video. And then you control on what you wanna present and how you present. It's gotta be appropriate. It's gotta be related to children and families. So ideas on what people have presented on in the past. Somebody did a video helping parents out with toilet training, giving tips, tricks, and milestone information about helping parents with toilet training. People have helped with temper tantrums and why it's normal for 2-year-olds to throw temper tantrums. They've educated people on the types of abuse. Sometimes they've talked about food insecurity or homelessness or an issue that might affect children and families, and kind of educated us on issues that might affect children. Typically when people record it, they record it on Zoom just like this. Everybody's kind of have a Zoom account at this point. So you go on Zoom, you make a Zoom appointment with your partner, you hit record, and you kind of present this way, either showing us a PowerPoint or showing us, or just talking about it together. Sometimes people will go do a PowerPoint, and you can actually record your voice over PowerPoint. If you just Google PowerPoint with recorded voiceover, it will show you exactly how to do that. And once again, you have PowerPoint free through Microsoft as a Palomar student. Some people do Powtoons, which is like a kind of a animation service where you can put in the information and it makes a animation for you. Some people make a meme, which is typically a visual image with kind of writing over it, and then they record themselves telling us why the meme is funny. There's a lot of very funny child development memes out there. You could do a puppet show, you could do paper mache, you could do a movie, you could do a skit, anything like that. It's online, so it has to be recorded, but feel free to get as creative as you want. You could do it. We have a great dance group here. You could do an interpretive dance. I don't care. Feel free to get as creative as you want. This is due at the end of the semester, and then I'll take everybody's recorded presentations and I'll put them up on Canvas so everybody can be watching them, and then you'll be graded as a group. So whatever grade the kind of group gets on the presentation, that will also be your individual grade as well. So those are the larger kind of assignments. Those will be throughout the class. I'll be reminding you about when they are coming due, and I am here for support. So if you ever need any kind of support from me, the best thing to do is to look over in the left-hand corner, left-hand part of this page. My mouse is circling inbox. The easiest thing to do is just hit that and send me a message. Go straight to my Palomar email. Within probably an hour, I've got it in my email. And then I check my email about 3 times a day, and then I respond back to any emails that I have. I check my email Monday through Friday, about 9 to 5. I keep regular kind of banking hours when it comes to this class. So I check my email about 3 to 4 times a day, and I respond whenever I get an email from any of my students. So just feel free to message me with any help if you want to show me a draft of some of your presentation, or you need some more help with, you don't know if your idea for your research paper is a good one. All you have to do is reach out by email, and I can kind of help you through the process. The downside with kind of online learning is that I can't see you. So if I am explaining a concept in class, I can kind of see that people didn't understand it, or I didn't explain it well, or I need to kind of circle back to it because it's harder theory. I don't have that. So if you're struggling or you feel like you're not understanding course content or the course requirements are too much, all you got to do is email me Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Check my emails regularly during that time, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Many of you, though, I know work or are doing different classes or have busy lives and are working on this class or are going to be doing the work for this class at night or on weekends. And that's fantastic. That was very helpful. That's why online learning has been so popular during a global pandemic, is that many of us lead busy lives and hard lives. And this gives us some flexibility and freedom in an asynchronous class like this where we don't have set meeting times. The only thing is that this is my job as well. And so I work, once again, regular banking hours, Monday through Friday, kind of 9 to 5. So please email me you can email me at any time, but just know that my response will come back during those hours. So if you know that you're always going to be working Sundays or Sunday nights, that's the time that I'm going to be spending with my family. And so I won't be getting back to you. So if you always know that you're going to be doing your assignments or your work on the weekends, take a look at that week's work, take a look at the larger requirements. You can ask me a question about it before we kind of close for business on Fridays. I'm not a bot, I'm not a robot, I'm not available 24/7 for you guys. I have 3 kids of my own. So if you're emailing me at midnight, I'm hopefully asleep at that time. Once again, I have a busy life with full-time work and kids as well. So please just know that if you're going to need support on something that is due soon, take a look at it. Ask me the questions before you kind of get to a point where you might not have as much support. So email me, once again, hit this inbox over here and send me an email whenever you need to, knowing again what my kind of response hours Every week is going to look fairly the same. You're going to have your week's work, you'll have a lecture video, and you'll have some kind of assignment or assignments. So for the most part, you'll have 2 to 3 lecture videos that you will watch. This will be where a lot of your course content will happen. It'll be about birth, or in this week on cognitive development. And then you'll have, typically I have a lot of video quizzes where you watch a video about pregnancy, or you watch a video about social and emotional milestones. And then you answer questions based on that video. So you can watch the video as many times as you want and then answer the questions that are related to that video. And what's in those videos relates to the course content. So in here, I'm talking about pregnancy and birth and newborns. And so the assignments that you're going to be doing are on postpartum depression, pregnancy, and nature versus nurture. So this discussion boards that you're doing and those video quizzes are supporting that week's work. And it typically looks the same, 2 to 3 video lectures each week, and maybe 2 to 4 assignments that week, which are typically maybe a short answer, a small like writing experience, like maybe writing a paragraph. And then each week there's also a discussion board as well. And the discussion board, you only have to post once. You don't have to reply to anybody if that's not, if you want to, that's fantastic, but you only have to post once and you have to respond to the prompt or the question that I'm asking. That's what you need to do in order to get the 5 or 10. I always check them, typically at night, Monday through Friday. I'm checking them to make sure that they are appropriate and respectful. I've never really had that much problem with it. The only times I've had issues is when people are trying to be funny online, which can be really, really hard. Humor is really hard to communicate online, especially on Canvas. Maybe on social media, it's a little bit easier, but this is Canvas. It's an academic platform where you're supposed to be polite, appropriate, and respectful. So if I see comments that I feel are not like that, they'll be removed at a minimum and we'll have a conversation about that. Once again, it really hasn't happened that much. It's just been when people are trying to be sarcastic or make a joke, it doesn't come off well. I urge people to think really hard about how their joke will come off and what the butt of the joke is. And then also, if you are wanting to do something silly or humorous, to use a lot of emojis or appropriate memes in order to kind of communicate that you are attempting to be funny. For the most part, since this is an academic kind of class, it's a lecture-based course with discussions and quizzes to support it. You're just answering kind of a question or prompt from me, and that should be your focus, is how this is helping to support you in learning the content. So each week looks kind of the same. I'll send out an announcement every week that will come to your email and also onto Canvas. It'll tell you exactly what to do throughout the week and what readings to do as well. This is a fast track class. So instead of having 16 weeks, we've condensed it into 8 weeks. So it's fast paced. There's a lot of content and a lot of weekly work that needs to happen. And it really does need to be weekly. So you can see that each week I've broken down a concept and theory related to child development, and we're learning about it each week. So the class has already kind of been formatted for you guys, and I will be opening it and grading it throughout the semester. So it's important that you log on every week and do the work as it comes, because child development is cumulative. So it would be really hard to learn about adolescence if you haven't learned about tweens, if you haven't learned about preschool, if you haven't learned about infant toddlers. So we start way back at the beginning with birth, and then we get all the way to adolescence. So each week we're learning about a new age period, concepts and theories. So we're building on it. So you really have to do the work every single week, and all of the kind of ways that this will support you through the online quizzes and some short discussion boards as well. Typically, the online quizzes are about 5 questions, so not a lot of questions. They're typically multiple choice, true, false, and then they might be kind of a short answer where I'm asking you to write maybe a paragraph. So they're supposed to be short kind of activities to support your learning that you'll be getting through these video lectures. So that is kind of the class content. And these are some of the larger observations. I'll be reminding you about these throughout the semester, but if you're going to need support, please, once again, hit that inbox, send me a message as soon as you kind of think of your question, and I will get back to you as soon as possible with help and support and resources as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a new share, and this will be with our syllabus. So this is our class. It's online, once again, asynchronous, which means there's no times and dates that we will have to be meeting with each other. Even my office hours are on Zoom, and those are not mandatory. I do those about every other week for an hour or two, and that's just, you can hop on Zoom and ask me a question. I have a waiting room, and then I just take students out of the waiting room, answer their questions, and we just kind of chat one-on-one on Zoom. It's a great kind of platform for me, and that I can kind of reach you and talk to you. I've had issues before when we were before the pandemic of students with the Ramona or Poway or something like that, and it's kind of difficult to get to the main campus sometimes. And so in this case, you don't have to drive over, you don't have to pay for a parking permit. You can just hop on my office hours, which will be on Zoom. I'll always put up a link and an announcement for you guys. And then I pull you out of the Zoom online waiting room, and we just chat, ask questions. You can show me drafts. We can talk about jobs, things like that. Here is my email. Once again, on Canvas, that inbox goes straight to my email. So if you wanted to, you could email me straight from, you could save my email and email me straight that way. Most students message me on Canvas because it's much easier if you're already on Canvas. I do have an office phone as well, but it goes straight to my email as well, and I'll just be emailing you back. So I haven't had a voicemail in a very long time. You could, if you wanted to, and I could call you back if you left me a number that you would like to, but most people just email me. We have a department web page. That's where we keep all of our free textbooks. This is not the only class. Some of our other classes in child development also have free textbooks. We also have a job board. So if you're looking for a job in this field, please go to our job board on our palomar.edu page. If you just Google child development and Palomar, our page will come up. And then on the left-hand toolbar, we have a job board. So if you are looking for child development related jobs, you don't always have to have experience in education. Sometimes if they're looking for like soccer coaches or tutors or things like that, we'll always put any kind of information related to child development. My office hours, they're online on Zoom, but I can also make, if those times don't work for you, if you let me know, sometimes we can set up an appointment to do a one-on-one. I can call you, we can be on Zoom. In your email correspondence, please put that you're in Child Development 100. You're not the only class that I'm teaching. I'm teaching 2 other courses here at Palomar, and I also work at Cal State San Marcos. So please let me know that you're in my 100 class, so that I can more easily support you by knowing which class you're in and kind of what week you're kind of working on. So just let me know you're in my 100. Here's the online textbook again. Here's what we're going to be learning about. This is just child development, like I've talked about, concepts, theories, and milestones related to birth all the way through adolescence. Each week, I'm going to be taking you through a different age period and all of the domains related to that. So we'll be learning a lot each week, all about children and how children develop. Class attendance and punctuality, I've already talked about this, but you need to be logging on and doing the weekly work. That's how I've kind of broken it down. You couldn't get to the week 8 and try to learn about 18 years of development all in one. That would be almost impossible. That would be impossible. So each week I've broken it down for you, and each week you are doing work and you have to kind of log on in order to do that. So I have a kind of all your assignments and all of your readings are kind of already up on Canvas, and I periodically, each week I open your new work. I don't, because of the online space and because it's 8 weeks, I try not to get late work. If you are late, or if you're struggling, or if you need help, or if you got COVID, or if you just need help or anything, just let me know so that I can work with you. So, if you're struggling, if you got sick, or your kid broke your leg, or you just had a rough week, I can work with you and I can work on late assignments and I can support you through learning. I just kind of generally need to know what's going on. You don't have to send me, all of this information, but, just kind of letting me know, hey, could I turn this in late? I had a really hard week at work or something like that, or, my kid got sick. I don't need all of this. I don't need a lot of background information, but I do need to kind of know what's going on with you so I can allow you to kind of turn things in late, and I can kind of support you with keeping up on the work. So that's why I don't typically allow late work, is because if it continues to be late, you're not staying up with kind of the course content, and that's going to be harder and harder and harder as the weeks go on, and we're learning more and more about children. So being too far behind is not fair to you. And so that's why I kind of keep everybody on the same schedule with the same amount of work each week. The structure is the same every week. so you know what to expect. So all of that to say, TLDR, please communicate with me if you need help, support in class content, but also in just staying up with the course assignments. If you need help and support, we are here to kind of help you, and I'm here to kind of help you with due dates as well, as long as you kind of communicate with me throughout the semester. Plagiarism, this is straight up just what Palomar thinks about plagiarism. The only time I've really had to deal with plagiarism is when people are kind of confused about what APA is. So in your research paper, you can't just cut and paste things from the internet. Canvas sees it immediately. There's a algorithm in Canvas that will see that you got something from the CDC, and it will flag it and it will tell me. If you put it in quotes and you gave them, if you said the CDC wrote that, it's not a big deal. That's not plagiarism. You gave me the source and you cited it. So if you need help with any kind of writing, with English, with tutoring, with English as a second language, please know that there are, once again, free online tutoring services. You don't even have to come to campus. You can be on Zoom just like that, working with a real life person who can support you and making sure that you're not plagiarizing, that you know what APA is, and that you know what a research paper is. I know it seems like a lot, right? For some of you, maybe English is not, or writing is not your favorite. But that's why we have all of these support services to kind of help you. I was the opposite in college. So I went to MiraCosta before I transferred to a four-year university and then went to grad school. So way back in the late 90s, early 2000s, I was going to MiraCosta and I was doing great in English and I was doing great in child development and I love history. And then I had to start taking my transfer level of science and math, and that's when I started failing. Science, I just had to go to class. That was the big thing I learned from that is I go to class, I take some notes, I pay attention, I got some C's and even a B-. Never was great at it, but if I tried and I did the homework and all of the things like that, then I did okay. Math, on the other hand, I would go to class, I would take notes, I would do my homework, and I was still getting D's. And I needed to pass college level algebra in order to transfer. So I went to the tutoring services and I was there every week until I left MiraCosta. And I needed that help. I needed them to one-on-one sit down with me and show me how to do FOIL and how to do quadratic equations and all that type of stuff. Do I remember it now? No, it kind of hasn't stuck. But I learned a lot about how to be a student, and I learned a lot about how to kind of get those skills, like being proactive, reaching out. I was so afraid. I thought that they were going to be stupid, or I thought that the tutoring services would be like, she doesn't understand algebra. They don't care. Tutoring services literally does not care. All they care about is that they want you to pass the class because they want you to hit their goal. You could come in and you could ask them the most simple question, take me through addition, and they will teach you addition. I mean, I basically I was even struggling with like fractions and stuff like that as well. And they helped me every step of the way and just gave me the extra support. And I would come in with a question from math class and I would be like, what is FOIL? I don't understand it. We worked on that for weeks and weeks, and then it started to click and I passed the test and I passed the class. I got a C+. Math will never be my strong suit. My brain just doesn't think that way, but I learned the skills necessary to be able to pass. And those skills have taken me a long way as well, because I know how to get help, to get support. So that's what maybe some of you need to learn, is to reach out, to ask for help, to get support from us, because all we care about at this school is helping you learn and helping you reach that next goal, whatever it is. Maybe it's get a job, maybe it's transfer, maybe it's get an AA, maybe get a certificate, whatever it is. Every person on campus has the same goal, and it's that, to help you learn and to help support you in your goal. The classroom discussion board, once again, you have to be respectful, courteous, appropriate in your discussions with everybody. I will remove any kind of disrespectful conduct, although, like I said, that has happened very little. Here's APA 7th. This is our success guide. This is the Purdue.owl, which is another resource, but our success guide has a template straight up for you guys that you guys can just download. It's also on our child development page at palomar.edu, and it's just a Google Doc that you can download, and it will show you exactly how to do APA. We have a statement of commitment and confidentiality. If you were to go to our lab school, you would have to sign this. That is not a requirement for this class at this time. Just so you know, though, if you ever go to the lab school, you do have to sign that. It just means that you understand that the children at the lab school are students' children, staff children, faculty's children, community's children, and we're confidential about all of their information. Disability services, if you have any disabilities, please get me your accommodations in the first 2 weeks of class, just so that I can make sure that we arrange for any special test taking or in-class accommodation. Here's the tutoring and resources. So I have the Palomar tutoring services and then the English tutoring as well. Those are probably the two that you would want for your work here at Palomar for this class, specifically with writing and research papers. Once again, it's important that you understand that we're all here to kind of support you. And these two places would be a great place to start if you need help with any of the writing. You're responsible for your own withdrawal. So you need to keep track of your own class. If you're not in this class after the first week, you haven't done it in the assignments, you haven't logged on, you haven't spent any time at all during the class, you will be dropped by the census state. After that, though, dropping with a W or without a W, that is up to you. Look at the academic calendar for the permanent dates. This is all about Canvas. This is your email. Palomar is fantastic. They have so many support services. Like at Thanksgiving, they give away a whole turkey, like a turkey dinner, like a frozen turkey and like stuffing and green beans and all that type of stuff. During the pandemic, they gave away like 500 laptops. They had like Wi-Fi, like you could get free movie tickets. Sometimes people will give us free soccer tickets, but you only know about that if you check your email. That's where it comes from. Is the campus will say, hey, we've got it's our free pantry day, or come get this free thing, or here's your turkey dinner, or planetarium. Like we've got so many cool things that are happening, but it all goes to your campus email. So if you are not regularly checking your college email, forward it to your work email or to your personal email, like your Gmail or your Hotmail or something like that. It's really important that you check it because that's how I'll communicate with you. Like if I had a question, it would either go through Canvas, or if I needed to kind of reach out to you, it would go to that student email or through Canvas as well. It's a great way to find out about those free things that we have as well. So please check your Palomar student email at least once a week, or just have all of the messages from your student email forwarded to your work or personal email. Canvas has a grade option as well. It's great. It keeps track of it. So if you had a 10-point assignment, then I would grade and it would show up on that grade function on Canvas, and it would say, you got a 10 out of 10, and then my feedback, great job, I loved this writing, whatever my feedback is. If you're not turning things in, I can't grade anything. So you'll see that you're missing a grade for that because you never turned it in. Canvas might say, you've turned in 50% of the things, and out of that 50%, you got 100. That only means you got 50 points out of 100 points, which means you're still failing. So you have to submit work in order for that work to be graded. If it's not submitted on Canvas, then it's 0. So just be aware of what have you turned in, and keep track of it that way. You might even want to keep track of it right here. I have the course requirements, the possible points, and you could even keep track of your points earned that way. The total points for this class are 310. So Canvas might only have you submitting 150 of those points, and maybe you got 149. That's fantastic. 149 out of 310 is not a passing grade. You have to submit work for me in order to grade. That's how kind of Canvas works. If you're having a hard time submitting, either tech-wise, I know it can be difficult, email me and we'll figure out the tech issues. If you are struggling with just submitting work and being on time, also reach out so we can get you some support services in order to make sure that you're going to be successful in this course. And of course, content's an issue. Once again, you just got to message me so we can find a way that it will be better for you. So most of the class is these kind of participation. So it's online class participation. So those video quizzes, discussion boards that I talked about, that's 140 points. That's almost half of your points. So you're going to do 20 points of online work each week. It might be between 1 and 4 assignments. If it's 4 assignments, they're shorter little assignments to support the work. Sometimes it might be 1 or 2. You'll write a research paper, as we talked about. I already have the written instructions, the online video, and the support for research and ideas already up. You'll do a rough draft, and then you'll do a kind of the actual paper for 30 points. So that's a total of 40. You'll do 2 online observations that are already there with written instructions. And also with the video instructions, you're going to watch 2 video clips and you're going to observe what you see in those video clips and you'll turn that in. That's 2 observations. They're 25 points each for a total of 50. Then you have a final exam. Don't worry about it. You have 3 whole days. I open it on a Monday morning and you have till Wednesday night. So you have 3 whole days to do it whenever that time works for you. Not timed ever, so you could take 6 hours if you wanted to. Open book, open note, multiple choice, true, false, and I do a huge review the week before. So I'll give you 50 questions on the review, and I'll pick 20 of those, and that will be 20 of them? Yeah, 20 I'll pick. Yeah, so I do 40 questions on an online review, and then I pick 20 of those, and that becomes your final. So you've seen the questions, you've practiced the questions, open book, open note. It's going to be fine. And there's no time limit, so we don't have to set you up for anything and no proctorio or anything like that. So nobody worry about the final exam. We will get through that just fine. So these are all of the points because of everything that is kind of going on. And then this is tentatively what we're going to be doing for the last weeks of class for the next 8 weeks. So this first week is just getting used to the class, watching the video, introducing yourself, familiarizing yourself with the class and the content. The next week is pregnancy, then infant and toddler, early childhood, middle childhood, adolescent. Then we'll review, once again, a big review of everything we've learned in those 6 weeks. And then we'll learn also about child abuse and violence. And then week 8 will be an online final exam. So I'll open it on Monday, it'll close on Wednesday. So I can kind of have everything graded by Friday. So you'll know by that Friday what your grades are. As you kind of head into summer break. So that is the class. I hope that has been helpful. So I've taken you through the class structure. The class looks the same. Every Monday, I open new work, and you have until the following Monday in order to complete 20 points worth of work, which is going to support the video lectures that I have recorded, and you'll be watching those, learning about child development and having them supported with those 20 weeks. 20 points of work. There'll be a video quizzes, discussion boards. You also have an observation, a small group project, and a research paper. All the information for that is already online. The videos explaining it are already up, and the written instructions and any kind of other support you need are also up. So all of that information will be available the entire semester, so the next 8 weeks, designed to support you. Once again, I'll send out an announcement every week, kind of letting you know what we'll be learning about and what you need to do as well. If you need any support, don't hesitate to use the campus resources so that you can be supported by all of us. And then also message me on Canvas so that I can help you as well. I'm looking forward to having a fantastic semester with you guys. I will see you more online.